Dave recently got out on his first ever turkey hunt and happened to bag a big old tom. And Aaron is the guide or the friend that got to take him out and experience that with him. So Dave and Aaron, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and we'll get started.
All right, I'm Dave Lassard. I'm from North Central Illinois. I do a YouTube channel called Under 40 Yards and mainly an upland hunter. I was able to get into some turkeys this spring and had some success. So
Nice. It's pretty exciting when I've done a couple turkey hunts myself and had some success. And once you start getting to gobble back to your calls and everything, it's pretty surreal once they're doing
in the
that.
blood now, Dave. Dave's in trouble.
So Aaron, why don't you give us a little background about yourself? And you're obviously from Illinois as well, I'm taking it.
Yeah, not probably 15 minutes from Dave, Northern Illinois.
Okay.
I've known Dave for, I don't know, what has it been, like 20 years now, Dave?
yeah, 20 years, yeah, at least.
We don't do a ton of hunting together, but when I had the chance to go on his first turkey hunt, and I was all about it.
Yeah,
I was just there for the show.
And how long have you been turkey hunting for, Aaron? I see you got,
I started
some
in
nice
college.
fans in the background there.
Yeah, those are probably the most special ones. I think I shot most of those with the kids. Either the kids called them up or, I think it was, first hunt somewhere, hunt with the kids. But I've probably been hunting college, 01. I've been hunting turkeys. So once they get in your blood, it's all over. I've been hunting waterfowl since I was 8, 9 years old. So 30 plus years chasing ducks and geese and just about anything and everything I'll go after, woods and water.
It's just time, right? You got it. Once you have the time, then it's easy to go after.
That's what was nice about this year. I ended up picking up some tags close to home, and it really helped get out there. Like this last turkey we killed with my son, it was before school and work. 7:30, we were rush home, grab a quick bite to eat, get him dressed, off to school, off to work. So it's anytime you can hunt close to home, it definitely.
So you're on private ground, I take it?
Yeah. We don't have a whole lot of public ground in Northern Illinois unless you're heading west an hour and a half or so.
Right.
So.
Yeah, Illinois is pretty
tough for the public guys in Northern Illinois.
Oh yeah. So Dave, what got you, or how did it come about that you wanted to go out and try to bag a turkey?
Well, I've been trying not seriously trying, but between Aaron and a couple other friends that do it a lot, they've been poking at me a little bit to get out and do it. And about 2020, I tried to buy a tag, got denied. I think it was before the pandemic started, but I was kind of late on application. Yep. And so I'm kind of learning the turkey rules and when to apply. Upland hunting is more, casual and you don't have to do so much planning.
Yep.
So I didn't get a tag that year. The next year, same thing. I didn't get a tag. And the way Illinois works is it's county by county. So it's kind of a finite area, right? And we live in a fairly small county, and the county next to us, I have some friends with land, but you got to know someone with property to hunt. There's basically zero public land opportunity in Northern Illinois. So if you don't have a place to hunt, you're kind of SOL, or you're knocking on doors. And I'm sure Aaron will cover that. He's pretty good at that.
I'm sure aren't farmers or landowners pretty willing to let you go to hunt turkeys?
Probably.
Yeah.
I think he's had a lot of luck. So this year I got my act together and I got my application in. I was I definitely wasn't first in line, but I was probably towards the end of the enrollment period. And I chose, I think, 3 seasons. You can kind of choose, your priority level, I guess, of what season you want for each county.
So it's kind of crazy because like Iowa, unless it's changed, because I haven't turkey hunted in probably 10 years now, but you can go and you can pick season 1, 2, 3, or 4. You just go in, you buy a tag and go turkey hunting.
Yeah,
so
Wisconsin's
crazy. It's like a draw then. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, Illinois is tough, especially the county we're in. There's probably the fewest tags, would you say, Aaron? At least in our I don't know what they allot. I never saw the numbers of what they put out, but it's not it's not a guaranteed thing.
Do you think did they do that because of the turkey population there?
It must
I think
be.
yeah, that and it's Illinois, Yeah,
That's all we need right there.
there's a rule for everything, so I'm sure that's got, now Wisconsin does it completely opposite. So they have zones and you have a big area to go
Yep.
in. So you're not so focused on every county. So, but so I got the tag, and in my mind I had season 3. So we have, is it 5 seasons? I'll probably screw this up, but they go from a Friday to a Thursday. So they're a 6-7 day, and they repeat. So I applied for season 2, or sorry, 2 and 3. And in my mind, I got 3, but in reality, I got 2. So, we got the tags back in January. I kind of put it away. I'm not really in turkey mode yet. I'm not a turkey hunter. I'm still not a turkey hunter, but I
You are
pulled
now.
it
You
out.
got one.
Yeah, well, this is kind of how the story goes. So I had been talking with Aaron and our landowner friend Jim, and I hope he's listening, because we owe him everything for this hunt. But it was Tuesday of that week, and the season ends on Thursday. New one starts Friday. Yep. And I thought, well, I've got season 3, so I'm set for this weekend. I pulled out the tag, and it's season 2, and it ends in 2 days. This is Tuesday night, and I couldn't get my act together for Wednesday morning. I got permission lined up for Thursday morning, like last minute, with our landowner. I'm like 5 minutes away from his house. So I called up Aaron. He's like, I'm in. So we scrambled everything.
It doesn't
together.
take much with me.
Yeah. Aaron's like, it wasn't any trouble getting him. And Jim, the landowner, he had 2 blinds set up on his property.
Oh my God. So you didn't have to scout. You didn't have to do anything.
We didn't do anything. We kind of knew where the blind was, because, we get out there at, what was it, 4:30 or 5 o'clock or whatever. It was before sunrise. And
yep.
But we found the blind, sat down, and the rest is, Aaron's doing. So
did you try to call it all, Dave?
I did not. I probably, if I demonstrate it now, I'd embarrass myself, so I won't. But all I have is a box call, because that's probably all I'm capable of doing at this point.
Yep.
But Aaron's he's got all of them full expertise. So all I did is sit there, and sit in the blind. And the property's small, so you're really forced. You can't run and gun.
Yep.
We're talking like a 15-acre area. So
that's kind of a sliver that goes way back. So it's not there's not a lot of moving anyway. You can scout it, but
right.
You're basically you're there for the day. Yeah. You're there for the duration.
Yeah.
My favorite turkey hunt ever was I've had him on this podcast for Brian Sorensen. He was my high school basketball coach, and we went out turkey hunting. And we duck hunted a lot together too. But when we went out scouting, we ended up crawling around this hill, and we knew these turkeys were over this hill. Well, it turns out we were in a hayfield, and we creeped up, and literally, I'm not even kidding, like 10 to 15 yards ahead of us, there was a tom just sitting right there. And we walked up on the back of him, and we just waited for him to kind of strut around, and we slid back down the hill. We set up camp from there. And then, I don't know, 20 or 30 yards from there, we were able to come back and set the tent up right away in the morning. And next morning, two big toms head to ass walking like this. We counted to 3 and shot them both at the same time.
Oh, no kidding.
That's nice. So it was probably never have a hunt like that ever happen again. Yeah. So it was literally 1, 2, 3, bam. And then that was it. So
Aaron might have one like that tomorrow. He's he spends more days afield than anybody I know.
Well, that's interesting. It just so happens our wives were on a small little girls' weekend, and here's how much I like to hunt. So my wife gets back, and they were talking about it. Conversations they had. My wife can recall she can recall things from a conversation you wouldn't believe it. But she's talking about Michelle and how, Dave's been doing a lot more hunting lately. I said, he hunts more than you do. I took
Yeah.
offense to that. I'm like,
There's-
wait a minute. Wait a minute here. I need to step up my game here.
There's no way that's true. But, you know, she's
hey, that's the word in the street. That's what she's telling me, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, he's got his YouTube channel and everything going on now. You know, he's getting content.
You got to get footage. You know, I mean, it's a lot of pressure.
Did you record this? Did you get to record this?
Yeah. There's video up on my channel. So if
I apologize. I don't. Tyler's a social media guy. I don't get on social media as much as I probably should. But,
well, you can burn a lot of time.
Yeah.
What's that?
You can burn a lot of time.
Yeah, I can burn a lot of time, and with kids and stuff, I try to keep it set down at night. So, so Aaron, tell us a little bit about how Dave actually did. Like, was he nervous?
Man, he's got ice running through his veins, man. I think I was shaking more than he was at this thing. You know, I guess that's why I hunt turkeys, right? They always seem to get me just a little bit.
Yep.
No, it was that thing. He started gobbling way out, and man, within 3 gobbles, we knew he was coming, and it was game time. So, I mean, I think that's what I like most about turkey hunting. It's the suspense. You know. Did
you work him towards? You obviously had a deke out there.
Yeah, we had a decoy. I don't think he saw the decoy. When I gave a few hard calls to him, a little bit of cutting, and some yelps, and he answered. I couldn't hear him answer, but Dave said he did answer, so we kind of knew that he could hear us. He was in earshot, so that's half the game.
Yeah.
And after that, he just kind of made his way. I mean, it was textbook.
It
doesn't happen
too easy
all the time. I can tell you that much right now.
Are you using a diaphragm call?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you use anything else to call them in? Box call or slate call?
Yeah, I just bought my son a little, inexpensive slate call. Sounds pretty good. Box calls always sound really good. I tend to think early in the season, like we've had a really, really late spring. There's no foliage on the trees, no leaves.
Yep.
I think your sound carries a little bit better. So I think a diaphragm is plenty. But when it gets really late in the season and there's a lot of foliage, I think a sharper call like a slate or a box call, you get a little bit more volume out of it. Personally, I think that. But we just used a diaphragm that day, and he liked what he heard, and he came in. Like I said, Dave made a great shot. It's funny when they're coming through those trees. My perspective and Dave's perspective are two different things. But Dave had a small opening, and it started when it came in. It either saw us or it saw something it didn't like. So he was alert and ready to go. So that's when Dave.
He was kind of clucking.
Yeah,
he was ready to get out of there, and it was about a 35-yard shot. Would you say?
Oh, yeah,
roughly. Yeah. So it wasn't close, and I had just a few seconds before he got behind this tree, and I knew I had to shoot. That was it. But we had heard 4 or 5 gobblers in the distance. We just couldn't get any of the other ones to come over off the roost. But this guy, for some reason, he kind of came in hot. He came in.
He did, for sure.
From I think he was way far away when he first entered the property. It's probably his normal route, whatever.
Yeah. Yep. Well, you said he clucked it. So you said grouse do the same thing, right, Dave?
Yeah, before they were going to fly. So, I'm looking at Aaron, and he's like I am when I'm grouse hunting. So, I know the excitement now for turkey is going to be similar for me, but he says you shot more than 100 birds, I'm sure at this point, well more than that, and you still get excited.
Oh yeah, for sure. I haven't shot that many, but it doesn't matter. I get excited.
Yeah. I mean, for me, that's like a dog on point. So it's all the same feeling. And, but now I got a taste of it, so I'll be back. So
definitely.
That taste, of getting that in your blood. Bird hunting, that's the same way for me, Dave. But I have buddies who it's deer.
Yeah.
And they don't want to do any other damn thing other than either sit in that tree stand or muzzleload hunt. Or I always get a kick out of I have a cousin who's like this. He thinks he's a big ass hunter, and he goes literally 2 days out of the whole fucking year, and it's deer weekend, right?
Weekend warriors.
Yeah. I was like, I don't really know if I classify you as a hunter. I mean, you go 2 days, you're 2 days out of the year, and
I mean, whitetail guys are.
Yeah, unload everything you have on these things. So, but Aaron, you gonna get him to go out again? You think you're getting him to go out again?
Yeah, I think we'll probably hit Wisconsin.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you know what? Roles need to reverse, and you need to make Dave call.
Yeah, right.
You can sit
That'll
back.
go well.
Absolutely.
He'll probably
Absolutely.
walk off. He'll get frustrated and say, forget it.
Well, it's
I'm done.
interesting too. Like I've only hunted out of a blind a couple times and never shot one out of a blind. So it's a whole different perspective being above the turkey, kind of looking down. I'm usually on the ground and it's head to head basically.
Yeah.
So it was a different perspective for me. Like, we did a little bit of shuffling around when he was coming in, and man, you really have to watch it because I felt like we were exposed just, with the windows of the blind and moving around. Whereas normally if you're on the ground and they're coming through, you have a little bit of time to maneuver and get ready, but
yeah,
whole different perspective.
We're moving around quite a bit. And,
Yeah.
I realize I'm hunting out of a blind. It's really, we're in what we call, Turkey Alley. This little area right where we live here is just, there's a lot of birds, and in this particular place that I shot this bird, Aaron and I have scouted this area for years. I'm scouting for maybe some photos in the past or, giving him tips because I know he's going to chase them. But every time I drive through this area, and the landowner, Jim, he would say the same thing. I'm sure he drives down his driveway every day and there's a gobbler in his way. But, so it's an ideal situation as far as the location. And, to say there was any skill in it, it was all Aaron. I know how to shoot. That's the easy part, So to me, it's like, I'm not a turkey hunter until I kill one myself. So for all the turkey guys out there, I'm not claiming to be one yet. So
Aaron, give it. Go ahead, Tyler.
No, I totally missed the beginning, guys. I'm 100% sorry about that.
No
I
problem.
got a wedding this week, and my mind is obviously way out here. So
your wedding?
Yeah, I'm getting married.
Man.
Getting married on Friday.
Oh, you're doing good then.
Good grief. Yeah, congrats.
Oh
man.
God, I just So obviously, anyways, but sorry I missed the beginning, but I was just curious. What was and maybe you already talked about it, but what was like your feelings when you like finally saw the bird and you knew it was going to be like coming in? Can you like replay that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question because I replayed it in my mind 100 times. And while I edited the video, you see things that you don't remember, being there. And with a camera, it's being in the blind was ideal with a camera, right, Aaron? I mean, if we were monkeying around like that, exposed, and we weren't covered up, our cover probably would have been blown. But we're trying to film it at the same time.
Yeah.
And,
what cameras were you using?
I have my mirrorless camera, and then I had a GoPro just for POV. But Aaron was lucky enough to get the video shot of the kill through the mesh of the blind. I think we felt like the bird probably might have saw us out the window, so he kind of shot through the mesh.
Nice.
And the footage turned out better than I thought. Actually, I didn't think we'd be able to see it, but so Aaron called, and I was just listening, and he gobbled back twice while he was calling, and I knew. I mean, I don't know turkey hunting, but it felt like we had him at that point. At least we had his attention.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, Aaron just kind of kept quiet after that. And the little I know and studying about turkey hunting is, you can definitely overdo it. So we definitely played it right. He came in curious, and he came in pretty quick, and everything happens fast. So, you're sitting there we're probably there in the blind 2 hours, hour and a half anyway. Just hearing gobbles across the fields, maybe 200-300 yards away, but nothing interested. And then this guy's coming close, and then your adrenaline starts pumping a little bit. And the last thing you want to do is blow that shot. So
after Aaron puts
for ammo.
Yeah.
You know what? I called this the farm and fleet hunt. And I bought Winchester Longbeard, cheap 1 3/4 number 5 lead, 3-inch 12 gauge, and I bought a cheap Strut brand decoy, and I bought a cheap Primos box call. I bought it all the same day, about a week before I shot this thing. So
Hey, got to start somewhere, right?
right. I have less than
and you almost missed
$100 in it.
season. And you almost missed your opportunity to go.
And I almost missed it. I mean, that was the kicker. It's like it was, I'm such an idiot with this whole season thing, trying to learn these dumb seasons. I almost blew it. And if I had
Tyler, just to recap for you, he thought he had a tag for season 3, and he realized 2 days before season 2 ended, he actually had a season 2 tag.
Right.
And then he realized it, so he had 2 days to go out and
I literally had 1 day to hunt because it was late Tuesday night, and I'm like, shit, I can't get my stuff together for the morning. So I had 1 day. We had to get permission, and then I literally had 1 day. I'm like, okay, so my expectations were honestly low.
Those are the best hunts, though.
Yeah. I just wanted to learn, and I did that last year. I went out with a guy, sat in his blind with him, and kind of learned the process. He was bow hunting at the time, and we didn't have any luck that day. But a guy in our same group, they had 6 or 8 blinds across this property, and one of the groups shot his first bird. So I was able to at least get the feeling for the whole situation and kind of learn a little bit about it. But the shot was good, and he dropped, and I thought, you're kind of in a little bit of shock, I guess, and he dropped down, so we let him lay there for a few minutes and celebrated a little bit, and then the rest was picture taking. And
I mean, how shitty would you have felt had Aaron done all that work for you and then you missed the shot?
I'd feel bad because I take pride in my shooting, especially when but it was a little far
imagine
out.
that's how Tyler's dogs feel. Fucking, he lets them down all the time.
There's nothing worse than your dog looking back at you like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
What just happened?
What was that shot? You worthless.
I've had plenty of those looks.
Yeah. It is funny. They do have that look.
Yeah. So do you think you'll keep going turkey hunting? Do you think you'll upgrade your box call? And
probably, I was thinking about this, and Aaron, you'll probably, confirm this, but I got this, you got a slate or a box call, and the only time you can do it is at home, and it pisses off your family, right? Shut that thing out. Right. It's like the kids playing an instrument. So the reed call has got a huge advantage because you can do that on your commute in the morning. And I'm not saying I'm going to be any good at it, but at least I'll have time to practice.
Hey, you can find a ton of YouTube videos out there how to do it, which is good. I always have to, with learning how to do a goose and duck call, I always have to go out in the garage, or sometimes just to, if I feel like irritating Haley, I'll just do it inside.
Right. It's like when my kids were in band for the first time. Good God.
Oh man. I bet that was what instrument they play.
Well, one played the clarinet and one was the flute. So not the tuba loud. Or the trombone. So that was
or the drums.
The drums.
Oh God, that'd blow up the house.
Yeah.
Aaron, how long have you been hunting turkeys for? Looks like you got.
Yeah, I got a few up on the wall. I got the special ones up on the wall. Like I said, I was telling these guys earlier, it's, kids help call them in or shot them with the kids or something. I had a really good hunt one time up in Wisconsin. I was out, I hunted the morning, didn't have any luck, was driving the back roads, saw some turkeys in a field, and I could hunt the ridge above them. So I ran back to the cabin, got all the kids ready. I got 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. I said, all right, let's go. We're going turkey hunt. We're going to run to the top of this ridge and we're going to call. So we got them back, got them camoed up, drove down, ran up this ridge, and my daughter called one in right into us.
Oh man,
that's cool.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. How old was she?
Man, I think she was I bet she was probably 10.
Okay.
Dang. What kind of call is she using? That's impressive.
It was a box call, nothing crazy, but
better than Dave's.
Yeah. Probably a better one than
these calls are pretty easy to run. They're nothing. You don't have to be the greatest caller in the world. I think it's, I've always said it's about finding the right bird. You can be the best caller in the world, and sometimes calling is not even the answer. You just got to get where they're. The hunt begins where the birds are at. So if you get where they're at, hunt long enough, you'll get them.
Yep. Do you remember your first first bird that you got, Aaron?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that one's
Tell us
yeah.
about
It was. I guess it's not real exciting, but the fact that we thought we were done for the day walking out of some big woods in southern Illinois, and walking out was like 10:30. You know, we've been hunting for probably 6 hours, 5-6 hours walking out, and one sounded off, just might have heard us or just randomly gobbled. We sat down in a fence line. My buddy gave a few yelps, and he came over the top of the ridge and hammered him. So yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. Do you mainly turkey hunt then, or you do any?
You know, I would say I'm more of a duck and goose hunter. I've been duck and goose hunting for, man, I'm 45, so I remember 8-9 years old going out with my dad. So that's definitely where, if I ever had a choice, duck and goose hunting for sure. But I don't know, turkey hunting's right there. I mean, turkey hunting.
You run a dog den?
Special. What's that?
You run a dog den? Sorry.
Yeah, I got 2 labs. Yeah, I got a black and a yellow lab. Yeah.
Nice.
They're nothing. They're not world champ retrievers. They break at
ours
the
aren't
shot. but they get the bird. So it's you know, they're fun. They're fun to watch.
Yep. Dave, you gonna try to get out with him on some waterfowl hunts?
Yeah, you know, he's asked me a couple times, and it hasn't worked out over the years. So I was thinking, you know, we've known each other more than 20 years now, and our
so
wives.
You finally trust him?
I think, yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah, he had to get you that bird.
I believe his credentials, you know, the stuff he's got hanging behind him there. So, but this is actually the first time we've hunted.
Yeah.
You know, we talk hunting all the time because I'm an upland guy, so we're kind of, you know, doing separate things, but you know, it's all the same. And I'm not a huge waterfowl guy either. I just hunted that for the first time a couple years ago. And so I'll definitely
rich man's sport, man.
Yeah, yeah. Waterfowl takes some serious
it does.
you know, funds.
It's ridiculous. And just like cargo area to haul everything.
Yeah.
The key is having plenty of friends that do it as well, you know.
Yeah, split the
friends that got
costs.
money, right?
Yeah. That's why we do this podcast. We're trying to find those.
Networking is everything. You know, you got the gear, you gotta have the gear, then you gotta have the spots. You know, getting spots is that's everything. You can have all the gear in the world if you don't have a spot to use it. Then
sounds like we might just have to come over and do a duck hunt sometime.
We can make that happen, no problem.
Cross the border.
How far into Illinois are you guys?
Rockford area.
Okay, it's not that far.
Not far, yeah.
Dead center of the state.
Yeah.
Nice.
You guys, one of you guys is in Cedar Rapids, right?
Yeah, that's me. Just
That's
south
you.
of it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
I'm
not
Des Moines.
far at all.
I'm Des Moines, so
Okay.
not bad.
Probably sounds like we should probably come your way for a duck hunt.
Yeah.
The duck hunting here is not nothing to write home about. We have some decent hunts because we hunt a lot, but we kill our share of geese. You know, geese are readily plentiful typically, but ducks can be.
We've decided that in 2024 we are actually going to do a guided duck and goose hunt.
There you go.
Really?
In Wichita, Kansas. Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy that we just had on, we're gonna this past week I think it dropped.
Oh yeah, I listened to it. That was a good one.
Yep.
We were actually going to try to go 2023, but my employer would not let me take off because they already had something previous planned that wasn't on my calendar, but they said they have something planned. So I was like,
Wow.
So this was last year's my past year, first year waterfowl, and man, the ducks, they didn't come in till after season. It was like there was one good field hunt that we had with them, and then after that it just like they wouldn't come out till it was after shooting light. Or then when they did come out before shooting light, it was after season. And of course we had 0 duck decoys out, and they just probably like 30-40 of them just cupped up perfectly and landed right in the goose decoys. And it's like, of course,
always
of course that's how it works. So that's it can be good out here, but
it's hunting, right?
Mostly field hunting, or
so the guys that I met, they're actually one's retired and one is he's got to be close. He's worked for his employer for I think he said like 36 years. He's actually got a good hookup. The employer bought him a brand new truck He can drive it. He can use it as his personal truck. Doesn't have to pay gas or anything for it. Doesn't have to pay insurance. So he's like, well, I don't really want to leave because I just got this truck and I haven't had don't really want to buy my own truck and whatnot. But so he's getting close to retirement, and the fields that they have access to are like 5 minutes from my house.
Oh, nice.
So it's worked out really nice for me personally, just because, they say, hey, let's meet at 4:00 in the field, and I could leave my house at 3:50 and we can hunt for an hour and a half and I'll be home by supper time, so that's pretty nice. And they do have some pond access, but they only have access if the owner of the ponds want to go. And last year they never wanted to go, so it was all cornfields mainly.
Nice.
But there's a lot of Cedar Rapids has a good amount of geese. They got a lot of city ponds, city birds that stick around all year round. So
Nice.
If
those
the
are fun.
If the flyway changes, I'm from Guttenberg, Iowa, which I realize you guys probably don't know where that's at, but it's right along the Mississippi.
Okay.
And when I was in high school and right out of high school, we would go up there and literally sit there in the morning, and literally 20 or 30 minutes, and we'd have all of us, there'd be 3 or 4 of us, we'd have our limit, every one of us.
Nice.
Yeah, it was wild. It was crazy. It was fun. And now the flyway changed up there. So
Northern Iowa?
yeah, northeast Iowa. Yeah. So they said that they thought it seemed like this year it was coming back a little bit. They had a pretty decent year, not compared to 20 years ago or 15 years ago, but they said that it seemed like the flyway might have been changing a little bit, like they're coming back down that pathway a little bit. So if that keeps changing, this year could be pretty decent, and I'm hoping to get out up there with those guys again, because they all still live up there. So
Nice.
Flooding up north should help with bird numbers too. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
So Dave, was your turkey under 40 yards?
It was, but I'd say it was 35-ish.
Yeah. As long as it's under 40.
What did he weigh?
Yep.
Spurs, beard.
What's
the rundown of that guy?
He was, I think, a respectable bird. He was 24 pounds, inch and an eighth spur,
Nice.
about a 10-inch beard, but he had a little offshoot that was about 11 and a half.
There you go.
Maybe about 3 or 4 hairs. So
Heck
I don't know what that means, but
That was a nice bird.
Yeah.
Nice mature bird.
Yeah, it was a good bird. So I was happy I got 7 pounds of breast meat off of it.
Oh,
I took a little bit of thigh meat off the thing, and that's probably better for soup, but so I was happy with the meat I got off. It was real clean bird, delicious. We had a meal a couple days later. So
nice. What'd you cook it up with?
we had turkey fajitas for the first meal.
Nice.
Yeah, so that
How
How do you make those?
just like you would, making any other chicken or beef fajitas, and we just replaced it with turkey. So,
Nice.
yeah. So I just kind
real
of
good.
cut them in strips, and then I gave the other half, not quite a half of the meat, to the landowner, Jim, our buddy, because unfortunately he didn't draw a tag this year. So, we hunted his land.
And thanks, Jim.
He did. Thanks, Jim. I know you're listening. So, again, I owe you and Aaron everything, but he had another buddy that shot one about a week later with a bow. So took 2 birds off of his property. And unfortunately, I'm sure he won't make that mistake next year. He'll be in early.
We'll probably never hunt that spot again.
Yeah. I'm not counting. I don't know that I want to, because I don't want to interrupt his luck. So
Right.
How many tags do they give out? Do they do sections like how Iowa does?
they do county by county, and Aaron can explain it way better than I can, because you got what, 3 tags, Aaron? I only got 1 because I don't know.
It's a nightmare. Yeah, you get like 6 choices, and there's 3 lotteries. You have to really set yourself up. Your first choice, second choice, third choice, right down the line. You got to make sure that you get lined up to where you're going to pull a tag somewhere. And it gets kind of it's a cluster. It really is. You have to pay attention to what's going on.
And the county thing it's so finite, because like we were saying earlier, we live in a small county, and the one next to us is a bigger county, but it's like, which choice do I go with? you got to go with the choice where you have permission to hunt, right? Because it's not like Wisconsin where there's a big zone and you've got 20 counties in a zone, you got a big choice. But Illinois, I mean, for the hunter and fisherman, Illinois is not the place to be, that's for sure. For upland hunting, it's trash, but I do all my hunting in Wisconsin and in northern Wisconsin, so it's just everything's better there typically for the sportsmen. But if you can find these private land turkeys, man, there's no pressure on them. There's not a bunch of guys chasing them. Aaron, he took a bird about half a mile from where I shot mine off another piece of private land, just last week?
Yeah. So I think it was it Monday or Tuesday morning before school. Took my son out. So
yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah, he's the before work guy. So the day I shot my bird, I took the day off. And Aaron's like, well, I'm going to work. So we got done I think I shot him about, I don't know, 7:15, 7:30 in the morning. And we kind of cleaned up, and I was home by 9 o'clock, and he went off to work. So I spent the rest of the day just cleaning the bird and taking care of the fan. So I'll have a mount hopefully done.
It makes work a lot easier after you've gone through a hunt like that.
Yeah, the day goes smooth, huh?
Yeah.
I'd probably be worried about falling asleep getting up so early.
It's pretty close to both of our houses, so we were lucky in that respect.
Yeah. And I'm an upland guy, so early mornings that's not cool. I mean, it's not dark when I go hunting.
Right.
All these guys are out in the dark all the time.
Yeah,
Aaron, what's your biggest bird? Just talking about.
I shot a real good one last year as far as spur length, I guess would be what I would judge them with typically. It seems like all the beards are 10, 11 inches, but it has some pretty good spurs on them. My buddy and I hunted this bird it was in Wisconsin. It was, I think we hunted him for 4 hunts in a row, 2 separate weekends. This thing had 9 hens with him. That he was the man. I mean, he was running the show. No other gobblers to challenge him at all. We finally got him that 4th morning, but he has some pretty good spurs on him. I mean, a little over 1.5 inches, 1 5/8 inches, something like that. I mean, sharp. When you see a turkey with spurs like that, it's impressive. Razor sharp.
Yep.
So that was pretty cool. That was just a cool hunt because we had been on him for so many hunts, so many hours. I mean, literally, the biggest challenge was getting set up and getting past all the hens before he would show up. All the hens would come out. You're talking 9 hens. And they were skittish. They were clucking. They were couple hunts. They took them the opposite way. They knew something was up and took them the opposite direction. Just that was a pretty cool hunt. We ended up getting them. But those hens when you got a gobbler locked down like that, those hens are the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
So what'd you do in that situation to finally change him?
Got lucky. Honestly, I mean, when they came out, the hens were doing the same thing. We had one hen that was putting at us. We had him. He was strutting at probably 15, 20 yards, but he was behind some tall grass, brush, so we didn't have a great shot. And eventually he made a mistake. Actually, I think my buddy shot, and then I shot right after him, and we kind of tag teamed him. But that was a good hunt. It was nice bird. Just anytime you get a history with a bird like that, it's pretty cool. Yeah. And I kept saying, we got to kill this. And normally, if you find out where they're roosted, you can make a plan. But every time he seemed like he had our number. That at least the hens did. I don't even know. These gobblers. If you get them in the right mood, they're like hunting the dumbest bird in the world. But you say that, but yet your kill percentage is 10%. So I mean, so they're dumb, but you can't kill them. So what's that make us?
Do you always hunt out of a blind?
Very never, actually. It's usually running the gun on the ground. Easier to make moves. It's a little, what I like about it is you can kind of hear a little bit better. You hear the woods wake up, you can hear the gobbles, you can shift around, make a move. But I was telling these guys earlier before you came on that it was a different perspective in a blind, looking down and having that bird. I mean, I felt like the bird could see every little movement. Whereas when you're on the ground and they're coming, you can shuffle and get on your gun and you're just waiting for a head to show up in the woods somewhere. So it's a little bit different perspective. I mean, you could see the whole bird, whole profile. So that was different for me. It made it pretty exciting that when he showed up, it's like he I don't remember him coming into view. He was just there.
Right.
I told Dave, there he is. He said,
Yeah,
he clucked a
didn't
couple
see
times.
him.
I'm like, man, you better shoot him. He's going to go.
Right. I didn't see him at first, so I had to, the perspective of, even though we're in the same blind, it had totally different view on your side of the blind, but yeah, he showed himself and bang.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah. the Farm and Fleet setup worked. So,
Yeah, that's right.
Shout out to Winchester Longbeard,
Yeah. Hey, whatever show does the job, that's all that matters.
Right, absolutely.
It's about $1.25 a shot. It beats those TSSs that are $15 at load.
That's cheap nowadays compared to everything else.
You get those, some of those shells are what, 50, 60, or like 40 to $50 for
five
box of five.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no thank lead works good still. So
yeah. Yep.
But it was cool because I got to shoot him with a gun that my very first new gun I ever bought, which is I bought it at Walmart in like 1990, I don't know, 7 probably. I had bought used guns only before that. So it's just an 870 Express, super mag. Really, it's a turkey gun, synthetic.
Absolutely.
It's a synthetic matte black. So it's really what it was, but that's what they had. And as an upland guy, I'm like, I really don't care. I need a new gun. So I took it. They didn't have like a field grade one. They just had that synthetic thing. So, but now it's just kind of a backup gun, but for turkey, it worked perfect. So,
oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's those 870 is tried and true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The gun will never fail you.
No.
Sometimes what's good about those pump guns is, you never have to really worry if you drop it, get it muddy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're always going to function.
Can't remember the last time I cleaned it, so that's probably.
When's the last time you shot it before that time?
Yeah, I use every now and then I take it out. It's always like my backup gun in the truck. If I have my over under or my auto loader, I might have that one as the third, like the second backup. In case something goes wrong with the other two. But I don't shoot it very often anymore. I took it out duck hunt. I did take it out duck hunting. So
I kind of became a little bit of a gun collector. Both my grandpas passed away, and I got some guns from them. And now my wife and I have an agreement that every year I get to buy one new gun.
Seriously,
So,
good agreement.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tyler taking notes on that.
I put that in some writing.
Yes.
Although this year I had to make a compromise. I don't get a gun because I bought a truck bed slide system. So that took the place of the gun. But next year we'll be back on it.
You could buy a nice gun with the price of that truck bed system.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I could.
You're not cheap.
Yeah, I'd like to get the Satori over under from Browning, the 725. I'd like to get that. That's probably my dream gun. And I don't even know if I'd ever shoot it because it's so nice.
Right. Yeah, that's guns are kind of tools for me, but I am grown to appreciate, the machining and the finer qualities of some of them. But
yeah, that one I would get all the machining on the, all the detail on the side and everything, and it would be bought just for me to look at.
Right.
It won't be laying in the bottom of the duck line.
No.
You can't beat just a good old camo or black synthetic gun for the old duck lines.
I have when it first came out, I got the Browning Maxus, the one. I think that came out in 2010 or 11. I bought it. So I've had it for 10 or 11 years now, depending on which year I got it there. That gun has more scratches and cuts and it's never failed me. It is the best gun I've ever owned. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm a Beretta guy most of the time, but
yeah.
I don't know. I like the Brownings though too. They're really nice.
Yeah, we've had a lot of Browning. My first gun was I still have a BPS 12 gauge. I use it for trap. I used to shoot trap leagues, and God, I use that thing for years because I'm a lefty and that's bottom ejector.
Yep.
Yeah.
Loaded bottom, ejected bottom. And
perfect.
You know what? My dad got me one of those. That's how I got turned on to Browning back in the day. And I traded that in, and I so wish I would, because it was a 20 gauge. I wish I wouldn't have traded that damn thing in. Stupid.
Talk about I mean, I probably have I don't know how many thousands of rounds through that gun shooting trap league for years, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those guns are awesome.
Yeah.
I'd like
You
to
know,
get
guys,
the-
it was always gratifying when you beat the guy that's got the Parazzi next to you that spent $5,000 on his setup, and mine was a $200 used Gander Mountain rack gun, and you know, I outshoot him by 2 rounds or something. That was always cool. But
yeah, too bad Gander Mountain wasn't still around. That wasn't a bad store.
yeah,
I actually that was my first job out of high school. Was
Really?
I worked at Gander Mountain as I worked in the hunting and fishing department, and I basically didn't really know much, but fishing, I just would put line on everybody's reels when they came in and needed new
Okay.
line, and then the guns, I basically was just the person that would box them up for them and
yeah,
say, "Here you go."
that's a cool job.
Yeah, it was. I learned a lot. It was a lot of fun.
Did you ever take money home, or did you spend it right there?
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. So the one gun that I have that just like I rarely use it except for now with waterfowl, because it's my only gun that works good for waterfowl. But when they had a competition in the store for whoever had the most people sign up under their name for the Gander Mountain credit cards, that person won a $500 gift certificate in the store. And then every quarter they had an employee like appreciation sale where they gave you, usually it was 20% off, but then they gave you 40% off of everything in the store. And then for guns, it was like 10 or 15%. I can't remember exactly what it was, but the gun was a Beretta A391 Extrema, and I won the gift card, and then that was on a clearance rack. So I had the $500 gift card, and the gun was on the clearance, plus it was the 15% off.
Oh, nice.
So I
They
got
gave
the
their
gun
employees too many discounts.
yeah, so I got the
bro.
gun for like $200 or $300, and it was, usually a $1,200 gun or whatever it was before clearance. So yeah, it was like, God, some new piece of clothing would come in and be like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna buy that today," and I'd work extra hours just to try to pay for a new toy or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the tough part about working at those stores is
Yeah.
how do you
Lots
get
of
that
temptation.
discount?
Around, you're right.
Yeah, and then family was always like, "Hey, can you pick me this up?" It's like, "I'll give you cash." I'm like, "Oh God, all right." Because they say don't be giving, not supposed to give it to family and whatnot,
Right,
but
right.
I mean, everybody did.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it was a good little store, and
Yeah, that's a good job. Yeah, we had that.
391's a good gun.
Yeah.
yeah, the only thing that sucks is I'm left-handed too,
So am I.
and
Jesus, 3 of us.
Yeah.
it's like
That's
one
never
of the
happened before.
yeah,
On the same call.
it's like one of the only Berettas semi-autos that you can't just switch the safety to the opposite way. So if you're a right-hander, where like the A400s and the A300, then the Extrema 2, when that came out, you can actually switch the safeties. Well, the Extrema 2, I think you got to like buy a separate safety thing for it, but the A400 stuff, you can pop the safety out and switch it over. And so as a left-hander, you can easily manipulate the safety how you're supposed to. But the regular Extrema, you have to buy the whole trigger assembly. And I've called all these gun places and nobody has them. And it's like, it'd just be nice to have it, because all my upland guns, I have the trigger switch or the safety switched. And then when I go use that gun, it's opposite. So I have to take like that extra second to be like, shit, is it on safety or is it not on safety? And I don't like that feeling. It's just unsafe to, or I pull up and I go to shoot and I hit the switch and it's on safety.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, you kind of wish they all had a thumb safety, as a lefty.
That would be nice. That'd be really
BPS
nice.
had that.
Yeah, that has
Yep.
it.
Most Mossbergs now Dude, I think
Yeah,
all
Mossberg's got it.
Yeah. That's one thing I like about over-unders too. They run that way.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, usually by your third shot, unless you're Nick, the bird's already too far away. He's a fast trigger, man. Fast trigger.
Yeah, I usually have 3 shots up before you get your gun ready to go.
You got any meat left on that bird? Or
There's been a few that have not.
But he shoots first, then says take them, huh?
I won't ever claim the most meat, but I'll claim that I got the bird.
He's turned him inside out, right?
Well, I always feel like I wait long enough, and then I'm waiting for everybody else. I'm like, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" And then I shoot. I'm like, "What are you doing? You weren't going to shoot." And I was like, "Wow, I waited 5 minutes. I felt like it's like an eternity when you're a quick trigger."
Roosters are tough, man. You gotta get them when you can.
That's right. Can't wait too long.
Right.
Awesome. Well, guys, appreciate you coming on to the podcast. Sorry for the delay at the beginning, and I don't know why when I keep sending out these damn invites they never work. I gotta get that figured out, but appreciate you coming on. Sorry I missed the beginning. I'll have to go back and listen to it, but YouTube videos looked good, Dave, and it was under 40 yards, so can't beat that.
It counts. It counts. Anything over it doesn't count.
Yeah. If I was a big game guy, I'd be over 40 yards. That'd be channel 2. So maybe someday I'll start that.
Yep. And Aaron, it was good meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you guys.
Thank you for coming on, and we'll have to do another one soon.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you guys ever want to do some duck and goose something, reach out.
Yeah, we'll connect.
No, we should do that. When season start out there for waterfowl?
Typical middle of October.
Okay.
Same.
Like September, it starts here with, I think, like teal seasons right away, and then it moves.
Yeah, we got early season, early goose, teal.
Yeah, it must be pretty similar then.
Yep.
So awesome.
You guys have a great night. Thank you very much.
Nice meeting you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Talk to you later.
Good luck, Tyler.